talk more about it and help us understand the situation there in Nigeria, we are joined in by Mr. Mahesh Sachdev. He is former Indian High Commissioner to Nigeria. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on DD India News Hour this afternoon. To help us understand the current situation, I would want you to explain to our viewers what is it that is being witnessed in Nigeria and how grave is this?
Thank you for having me. Nigeria is Africa's largest country with 22 crore population. It has slight majority of Muslims over Christians, but there is some juxtaposition geographically between Muslims who dominate the northern part of the country and Christians who are mostly in the south. Central part of Nigeria has the two communities living cheek by jowl, and that is where much of the contest is about land, about grazing rights, and religious frictions. And now we have all known about Boko Haram, notorious terrorists of Islamic fundamentalist origin in northeast of Nigeria. But the raids that have been conducted here are in Sokoto, which is in northwest. And Boko Haram is a separate outfit which was brought to international notoriety by Chibok girls kidnapping in 2011, I think, and their subsequent release after a great deal of international opprobrium. Now, the one that we are talking about is ISIS bases in Sokoto, which is in the northwest. And here, this year has seen in this area and the neighboring states of Niger and so on, a number of kidnappings and violence. And that is where President Trump had on October 31st, as you yourself said, warned Nigeria government that unless it takes action against alleged persecution of Christians, the United States would be forced to act. And at that time, Nigerian government had reacted with a bit of agonized anger, saying that Nigeria is a sovereign country, etc., and any collaboration, any action against terrorism should be under the ambit of international law and bilateral understanding. And this is what seemed to have happened. A token mention has been made by collaboration by Trump government about collaborating this action with Nigeria and thanking them. And Nigerian government has emphasized that this was done under bilateral agreements and intelligence cooperation and anti-terrorism related framework.
Yes, sir. So you've pointed out that the Nigerian leadership did not approve of it when initially suggested by Trump, because they said Nigeria is a sovereign country. How do you read the response by the U.S., though in collaboration with the Nigerian government? But then, what message would it give to the forces there? To what extent will this so-called newly found peace, how long will it stay? How long will this bring in stability in Nigeria when we talk of U.S. putting forth such an action in Nigeria?
You raised a very important point. There are two aspects to it. Firstly, Mr. Trump is more interested in reaping domestic plaudits by his own MAGA Christian base, that he is protecting Christians all over the world. And that is what he has emphasized in his message, looking at it only as a Christian versus terrorist Muslim problem. Secondly, within Nigeria, although the reactions have been cautious at this stage, there have been only a few hours since it was announced, but would need to be watched carefully whether it's going to be positive for fight against terrorism, or whether it would exacerbate the situation, further divide the fault lines between Muslims and Christian communities, and sort of promote wider anti-Christian activity. Right now, Christians are collateral victims mostly in fighting between government forces and the Islamic fundamentalists. But then, by provoking this action, a stage has been set when radical Christian outfits, radical Muslim outfits would be perhaps willing to promote their own actions against isolated Christian communities in the center of the country. And that would be detrimental to. One could also say that Sokoto is an age-old center of Islamic learning. So there is a certain context to Islamic studies, etc. there, and the piety of religion is respected. Now, Nigeria has had a Muslim president for three terms, instead of alternating between Christian and Muslims as used to be the practice. So having a Muslim domination over political instruments also makes it slightly lopsided in terms of its perception between across the divide between Christians and Muslims. I should also add that Nigeria needs foreigners, Westerners, for investments, for running its oil industry, and a number of other areas which are quite vital. President Tinubu has done a lot to restructure and stabilize the economy, and only now, when the economy was beginning to stabilize, that these actions have been taken by
Right.
United States Central Command. So it may have its own economic and social
Yes.
repercussions.
All right, so we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for joining in with those insights. So that was our guest helping us understand the current crisis, the current situation in Nigeria.